Hi everybody, wonderful morning. Welcome back to the pre-market outlook session for the day 11th of September 2021. Hope you all had a good experience with the predictions based on behavioral theory we are providing to you all to have a knowledge about approaching the market without emotions, hastings, worries, concerns, whatever the thing maybe you can put on. Since we have been providing this pre-market outlook content and market outlook for the upcoming week based on our behavioral analysis with a subsequent proofs it has actually witnessed on the charts, whether it may be a NIFTY or any other index or any stocks, what are the things we are discussing in the way of projecting the future moment or historical analysis, whatever the thing may be, this all together is being taken place after we made a behavioral analysis based things. So in such a way, the analysis is working out and giving the accuracy, and more than the accuracy and all, it is giving the sense about approaching the market without any hassle, without any emotions like. So in the same manner, yesterday also we have predicted about the market probably trying to consolidate between the same 100 points like we have predicted and discussed, as like in the Tuesday's trade also we have mentioned. In the same manner, yesterday's range after opening, the Nifty taken was between 100 points, 24,900 to 25,000. So in hard way, it is almost 130 points we can say. So what it actually meant for us, the opening trend will be only used for giving a inception point or a entry point for the trend it is following based on the global markets and as well as the existing behavior in the technical. As like that, it has opened in a slight higher manner about to 70 points, and after that somewhat moved to higher more than the 25,000 levels. Afterwards, it has actually tried to retrace and giving a bounce also between the 100 points. So that only we have mentioned in our today's report that optimisms shine. Yesterday, the optimism wasn't more than the 100 something point. Actually, market on the Nifty side went out. Even though that optimisms recorded on the chart during the day, after 2 o'clock, if you observe well, the uncertainty again actually came into disturb the trend already it has witnessed, so that the uncertainty lingers like we have mentioned in today's report. This is what the review based phrase we used to give on every day. So this phrase is clearly denoting how the day was yesterday. Anyhow, because of the hint given by US president side about to talk between India and US maybe soon happening on trade actions. So where the expectation on negotiations in the tax rate may also expected. If it happens, so in advance to that, projecting that result outcome, the market enjoyed the news or a message given by them. So that is what the reason yesterday it has cheered somewhat. But anyhow, the technical based behavior already suggested that as long as it is holding 24,700 and 24,400, these are all the core support points and demand zones the Nifty is actually having now and will help the Nifty whenever it is getting approached to give a bounce kind of activities or a recovery kind of activities, so that the Nifty is doing in that manner and giving the upside attempts and all. On the higher side also, we have predicted about 25,145 to be exactly, say, after breaking about 25,000. So that may be approached by the Nifty to get the positional based confirmation. That means what? The 25,145 above, the Nifty should close consecutively for 2 days in a row. Once it makes in that way, 25,300 to 25,500 also can be seen on the Nifty, like we have already discussed. So these are all the things one can actually have based on the review. And previewing the market for the day, yes, of course, it is a silent or a quiet opening we can see on the Nifty side. Anyhow, there are actually opportunities to make it positively, but it could not taken because it could not wanted to cheer up as it already done. So despite of the positivity across the Asian region, the market had not actually discounted that point, factored that point. Anyhow, it is a flat open for India, but it would be expected to utilize that positivity and the behavior already it is having to extend the momentum in the way of positive manner. So after opening, the trend probably will be consolidating with a positive manner, and the buy-on dips approach would be a great one for the day. And if it is actually crossing below or trading below 24,900 to 24,850, this is what the support zone or a range one can fix for the day. Anyhow, that 24,850 was a interim support. It has actually resisted some days and it has broken out, and it has also given a result for breaking out with a 200 points upside after breaking that. So that is what the significance of that particular 24,850 level. So that can be set as a support zone for the day. Maximum level of support will be on the 24,850. Anyhow, 24,900 also can be treated as an immediate support the Nifty is having. And on the higher side, the probability also there for approaching again above 25,000 zone, because it has to touch at least 25,145 with this kind of strength, the current strength or behavior the market is having, which is actually explicitly telling that the 25,145 should approach by the Nifty. So that can be treated as a resistance point for the day, entire day. Anyhow, an immediate resistance level can be set as 25,000 to 25,050. In between this range, if it is approaching, it is better to reduce your positions in the long side if you are having, and wait for the further confirmation while it is moving above the range or not. If it is struggling, means the probability for pulling back may be happening towards 24,900 as a support on immediate basis. That's it. Very simple, the strategies. For this kind of activity, the sectors like information technology, banking, financial services in banks, particularly on the public sector banks, one can focus. Financial services, particularly on the gold oriented, NBFC oriented. Finally, it may be on the housing finance. On energy side, one can focus on gas, and if it is oil, means the oil refiners like a BPCL, HPCL. But more than this, power and alternative power like renewable energies and all should be in focus under energy sector. Automobile, the third day in a row, the profit making or a profit booking based movements and all dominating on the sector, which also can expected to continue for the day. with some stocks actually giving the way for extending its dropping trend or a negative trend based on the profit booking. So that's it for sector oriented things. We can discuss how they are going to dominate on today's market. But the stocks which are sitting in front amongst others to give the opportunity for the day traders, like Dr. Reddy's Laboratories based on news, Mazagon Dog Shipbuilders also based on news, RVNL based on news, Bajaj Holdings and Investment also based on news, Biocon based on news. That SBI is actually SBI Cards, not SBI, not State Bank of India. That SBI Cards and Payments. That is the stock I wanted to share with you, but it wrongly mentioned as SBI. Please apologize for that. From the positional perspective also, we have already discussed about the points. So please keep watching the levels and make your informed decisions on trading as well as investment. Anyhow, irrespective of the market's momentum trend, it should be very, very important to maintain the stop loss on a strict basis for all kind of transactions. So that's it from today's pre-market session. We can see the queries which have been asked till now. Natural gas and Dr. Reddy. So the same queries which have been addressed till date. So some noise is coming. Please hold on. I will be muting on. See, from the natural gas perspective, hope you all actually who are all having the natural gas or who are all ventured with the natural gas in the recent trading days might have experienced about our predictions on the natural gas, how it would be like given. And you can also check it after approaching the resistance zones, how it is actually reacting like. Since we have mentioned about 275 would be the important resistance zones. Once it closes above only, we can expect about 290 like. But if you check well, it has not closed above 275 till now. You check it on chart if it is not checked till now. And the final close, it has tried to give about to 273.9 as a highest close. On 8th of September, it has given, but as it has not approached the 275 on closing basis, it has started falling based on the profit booking. So now it has given the low of 265.7. But for that, we also mentioned that 266 will work out as a support if it is trying to reverse back towards the negative side, like as like it has approached the 266 and even 265 also approached, closed about 266. What we are actually suggesting here for the traders means it is better to concentrate on natural gas by applying wait and watch mode if you want to take a positional trade. Because if the natural gas further dropping below 265 means one can expect the level of 261 and the maximum 258 for this week. Remaining this today and tomorrow, we can have this level. And one can build the short in the way once it breaks the 265 level. And for that, the stop loss can be treated as a 275 as a positional one. So as long as it is trading below 275 level on closing basis particularly, one can see the stock or instrument actually moving downward to even 255 from the positional perspective. So it is better to concentrate on building the short or buying the put options like on the natural gas. For the Dr. Reddy, based on the news, even based on the technical behavior, which has already discussed about the positivity the stock is having, as expected, the stock almost closed above some minor or interim resistance point, and which is also signaling the further up movement can be expected. And for that, one can see the stock moving towards 1,350 as mentioned about the next resistance point in yesterday's session we have discussed, and 1,350 where one can reduce the position by booking the profit. Now you can enjoy holding the or expressly also enter the stock. And from the support side, we have escalated the support from the level of 1,250 to 1,290 as of now. So for the day also, you can keep this 1,290 as a stop loss, and one can focus for the long build up for the target of 1,350 on positional trend, and in between this 1,304 to 1,350, one can, day traders can actually utilize the high and book the profits. So that's it for Dr. Reddy. So we can do new queries also there. Cochin Shipyard, BSE, CDSL, Brigade. These are all the queries asked now. And for the Cochin Shipyard, the stock currently actually having somewhat actually going to complete the consolidation phase it has already taken, and the probability for bouncing back may be happening, but for that the day traders and all actually advised to not touch the stock as of now because it has not given any confirmation. For the positional traders only it may be suitable. For that also you have to wait till it is reaching 1,600 zone. Or at least if you are a risk-based trader or a heavy risk-taking trader, means you can start buying the stock by keeping 1,600 below on closing basis, 1,000 not 600, 1,590 below closing basis as a support, and from the resistance point you can expect the stock moving towards the 1,750 as a target, and which is not suitable for really day trading or 3 to 5 days working and all. So it is better to concentrate the Cochin Shipyard by waiting the levels to be reached, and after that you can approach. And if you are a risky trader, you can even approach at current market price for the target of 1,750 by keeping 1,590 below on closing basis as stop loss. And for the BSE, it has somewhat actually tried to bounce back, but it could not actually make it successfully because the resistance point approached immediately on the trend line basis. So the stock is having 2,400 as the clear resistance point. In advance to making that approach of 2,400 itself, it has felt the selling pressure and fallen down. Anyhow, this is a swing in a medium kind of activities the stock is witnessing. So it probably may try to fall towards the zone of 2,200 at least. So until then, one should not focus on long side, or even not to think of accumulating around 2,270 it is currently having, which is better to wait since the stock is expected to fall towards the 2,200 zone. So where one can utilize this kind of corrective based drops and all to buy the put option or to short the sell. That means sell the holdings and cover it later. And from the resistance point, it is not changing. 2,400 would be the strong capping point for the stock. CDSL. So like in the BSE, the CDSL also consolidating, but it is nearing to the resistance zone or resistance point of 1,590, and until then one can keep by keeping the stop loss as for your long positions we are suggesting, and 1,520 as a stop loss one can fix and keep the long positions alive. And while it is approaching 1,590 around 1,600 zone, one can partially at least reduce the position by the way of profit booking. And once it breaks below the 1,520, you can actually try to concentrate on building short after 1,500 zone breakout happen. Until then, one can keep watching it, and you can also think of building the shorts if it is trying to struggle or trying to move between the level of 1620 to 1590. If it is trying to loiter between this range and not closing above 1590 or 600, means one can think about the building of short positions on the CDSL. Until then, you can actually keep your long positions. Brigade, which is actually feeling some positivity in the recent trading days, and we can expect some bounce can be continuing on the stock. And anyhow, the overall outlook for the brigade is still on the downside, and the negativity is still persisting. One can focus on sell on rise based approach while it is approaching the 990 as a maximum capping point. And the immediate level resistance one can check as a 960. So around 960, one can see the stock feeling the heat of selling, and you can keep the long positions until it is getting approached, and by the way of stop loss also can be maintained around 910. You can maintain the stop loss. If it is affordable for you, you can maintain this. Otherwise, you can utilize the hike if it is giving in today's trade about to 950 or 60 level. You can actually reduce your positions, and you can even trail your stop loss there after opening. So all the stocks queries have been addressed now. So since the market is going to open shortly, you can concentrate on the markets with the strategies, trends, levels, and all we discussed. So thank you for your participation. And the one query we have left out, gold mini. So that also will be addressed, and will be concluding this session then. See, for the gold, you might have experienced about the thing what we have predicted about the gold and the silver. So that is what happening now on the spot value or a chart, whatever it is, or a contracts. So the gold is now expected to consolidate somewhat until it is breaking the previous, that means the recent high about 1,09,749 it has witnessed. So until it is breaking this high, no longs are advised, because the probability for a minor profit booking may happen. So if it is breaking below 1,08,500 level, that was the low of 9th September. So if it breaks, you can also buy the put option, or you can short the positions, and one can cover the positions around 1,07,000 zone. Until then, you can keep the short positions. It is better to concentrate on short side and be cautious in your long positions, because the resistance point strongly fixed at 1,09,750. So thank you for your participation. Have a prosperous day for everyone. We will meet again in tomorrow's session. Bye-bye.